Hey everyone, and welcome back to the KenkoVibe podcast. I'm Ethan Reed,
And I'm Grace Morgan.
and today we're going deep on a topic that might raise a few eyebrows. We're talking about the link between vitamin D
An
and,
erectile dysfunction.
ED.
It might sound surprising,
Yeah.
but that sunshine vitamin we all know and love might be more than just for strong bones.
So let's get right into it. What is the connection here between vitamin D and ED?
Well, it seems like vitamin D could actually help support healthy erections.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by improving blood flow,
Okay.
you know?
The plumbing.
Exactly. Got to keep those pipes clear, right?
Right.
And there's even some evidence that vitamin D might give testosterone production a little boost too.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and testosterone's a key hormone for men's sexual health. So healthy levels are definitely something to aim for.
So vitamin D is kind of like a behind-the-scenes player working on multiple levels.
Definitely a multitasker.
But the article we're looking at today specifically points out that a deficiency in vitamin D could actually contribute to ED.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
And it leads us to another question. How much vitamin D do we actually need?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Generally, the recommended daily intake, or the RDA, is 600 IU for young adults and 800 IU for those over 70.
Got it. But the article suggests aiming a little higher for addressing ED, specifically around 1,500 to 2,000 IU per day.
Right. But it's crucial to remember that going above those recommended levels can have some unwanted side effects.
Like what?
Things like nausea, constipation, even fatigue.
So finding that sweet spot is key.
Exactly. Getting enough vitamin D to potentially make a difference, but not going overboard.
Makes sense.
Now, the article also brings up natural erection pills as another option
Oh, interesting.
for supplementing vitamin D and addressing ED, and they claim these pills work more quickly and don't come with those side effects we talked about.
Oh, so they're saying no nausea or constipation.
That's what they're claiming, yeah.
Interesting. The article specifically mentions a few, right?
Does.
Like Max Performer Member, XL Aeron Plus, and Vigrex Plus.
Yep, those are the ones.
Seems like a whole industry has sprung up around this.
It really has.
But it's important to remember, this information is coming from a website that sells these products.
Absolutely, full transparency.
So while we always encourage exploring options, it's crucial for our listeners to do their own research, talk to their doctors, and approach any claims with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's like anything else in health, right? There's no magic bullet.
Right.
But it's pretty fascinating to think about what role vitamin D might play, especially since so many people don't get enough.
Totally. And speaking of not getting enough, how can someone know if they need more vitamin D?
That's a good question.
Is it just a matter of not getting enough sun?
Well, sunlight is definitely a big part of it.
Right.
Our bodies actually make vitamin D when our skin is exposed to the sun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
But it's a little more complicated than just soaking up some rays.
Okay, so what else comes into play?
Well, things like where you live, the time of year even, your skin tone can all affect how much vitamin D you're actually producing from sunlight.
Huh. I hadn't thought about that.
And on top of that, some people might have conditions that make it harder for their bodies to absorb vitamin D properly.
So it's not just as simple as heading outside more often.
Exactly, which is why talking to your doctor is so important.
Yeah.
They can check your vitamin D levels with a simple blood test and recommend the best way to address any deficiencies.
Okay, so personalized advice is key.
Absolutely. And remember, this whole conversation about vitamin D isn't just about ED.
Right.
What's really interesting is that vitamin D deficiency has been linked to all sorts of health issues.
Like what kind of issues?
Well, everything from weak bones to mood swings, even some types of cancer.
Wow, I had no idea. It was so widespread.
It's pretty amazing.
So just making sure we're getting enough vitamin D could have all these other positive effects too.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
And that brings us back to the article's suggestion of taking a more holistic approach to ED. They argue that just addressing a vitamin D deficiency might not be the whole answer.
Interesting.
They're suggesting that these natural erection booster pills might actually provide a wider range of benefits because of all the ingredients they have.
So these pills are trying to tackle the issue from different angles, not just focusing on vitamin D.
That's what they claim.
I see.
They're highlighting how these pills combine all these different vitamins and minerals with ingredients specifically for improving erectile function.
Okay.
And they say it's all from natural sources.
I can definitely see the appeal of that, a more comprehensive approach.
You're sure?
But of course, as always, we have to remind our listeners, do your research, talk to your doctor before trying any new supplements.
Absolutely. Being informed and making choices that align with your own health goals is key.
So we've learned a lot about vitamin D today, huh? Went from strong bones to a healthy sex life, and now we're talking about a whole bunch of potential benefits.
Yeah, it really shows you how everything's connected in the body.
For sure. And it just highlights why a holistic view of health is so important.
Absolutely.
So to kind of sum it all up, it seems like vitamin D might have a role to play in ED,
It might?
but it's not a quick fix or anything.
No, definitely not.
Addressing a vitamin D deficiency could be one part of the solution, but there's a lot more to the picture.
That's right.
And we talked about different ways to tackle those deficiencies: getting more sun, changing your diet, taking supplements, even trying those natural erection pills.
Right.
But no matter what, the key is always getting personalized medical advice.
Couldn't agree more. Talking to your doctor is so important. They can figure out if vitamin D is a factor for you, look at your overall health, and guide you in the right direction.
Exactly. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of vitamin D and its link to erectile dysfunction.
It really has.
We've covered the science, the claims, and the importance of a holistic approach to men's health.
We hope you found it as insightful as we did. And remember, this is just the beginning. Keep researching, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep talking to your healthcare providers to make the best choices for your health.
That's great advice. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. I'm Ethan Reed.
And I'm Grace Morgan. Thanks for joining us on the KenkoVibe podcast.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this episode with anyone who might find it helpful. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay vibrant.